Con the Don. The humble beat. Sing it.
Online ain't nobody stopping me with Wi-Fi and a phone knocking on properties I got.
Digital real estate. Digital real estate. Digital real estate. I gotta give me some digital real estate.
Online ain't nobody stopping me.
Man, I wanted to keep that going. Great people, great day, another opportunity. I want to welcome everyone to a Rich Education Podcast, episode 6. And when I tell you this afternoon, this morning, this evening, not sure where you're viewing this in the world because it's been touching the world, I want to just make sure that your day is going well. We got a fireball. I mean, I really got to get another title for this blessing that we're going to have on the podcast today, great people. And I don't want to hold anything back. I got to get this thing going because this brother's time is so valuable. He's helping so many people globally, okay? Not just in your town, not just in my town, but globally. And with that being said, I want to welcome to a Rich Education Podcast, Young Con, the Don, here with us today. Going to drop some fire. And I forgot to get the title because the title is so important, great people. And we're talking about empowering communities. A conversation with Young Con, the Don, do for self expert. Can you hear me, my dear brother?
Yes, sir. Loud and clear.
Oh, man, so excited to have you here today. How are you feeling today, great man?
Oh, man, I'm fired up as always, ready to make something happen. Scheming on a game plan to be able to execute and go out and make something happen and get the results because we only as good as the results that we able to get.
And so many people just don't know. And that's what you've been doing for so long, Brother Khan, is that you've been empowering individuals to know that they got that same fire you have, but they got to take off the dust. They got to take off the mindset that they've developed. And when I hear you say these things, and I'm plugged into you all the time, and we're going to have such a great conversation because many know you, but maybe those that's plugging into this platform don't know, and they're going to know because you got the information there to get in touch with you. And I think after this conversation, they're going to want to plug into you, dear brother. So I'm excited. And what I want to share, because when we hear that title, a lot of people run from it sometimes. Do for self. Can you share some insights on your journey as a do for self expert and how this mindset has influenced your success in various fields?
Well, first of all, thank you, brother Demi, for having me here on your show. I see you doing big things in the financial field, giving us indeed a rich education, encouraging us to get some hard assets as we live through the fall of this economic system in this world. If we are not prepared, we're going to find ourselves on the wrong side of the fence. So you're always telling us to get some gold, silver, and Bitcoin in our life. And I'm happy to say I got at least one of the three. I'm working on the other two, but I know the right man to call to get the other two in my life. So shout out to you for that. But we know that money is just a medium of exchange.
Yes, sir.
Right? It's only as good as your ability to be able to do something with it. And one of the key components that I would like to add to money is that money is not just a medium of exchange, but money is a result.
Yes, sir.
From the mindset and the psychological aspect of it, when you think about money being a result, it is the result of products provided or services rendered. So you show me a person with low money, I'm going to show you a person with low products. You show me a person with low money, I'm going to show you a person that's providing low levels of service. But the greater your service and the better your product, the more money you're going to be able to get. And I would just like to put out there before we even go into it, how much money do you think you're going to make working at a 9 to 5? Your level of money is limited by the time that you can offer. See, they say the wealthy, they buy time for money. But the poor buy money with time. Time is your second greatest asset. Your number one asset is your mind. Oh, it's sitting right in between your two ears, family. If you would just use it and apply it to some of the gifts, skills, and talents that God blessed you with. He blessed you to be able to do something that nobody else on the planet can do it quite like you. But you so busy trading your time for money that you never have time to be able to dig into your mind to access the unlimited treasure of resources that you have to be able to enrich yourself, your family, and your people, and the world. So you notice the bird's brain is not as big as your brain, but yet the bird is intelligent enough to be able to put some twigs together, to go get a couple of sticks and build a home for itself. All the worm is able to go get something to eat. But you, a grown man, you a grown woman out here with a sign in your hand saying you're going to work for some food. Can you imagine a dog on the street corner with a sign saying, man, let me hold a can of dog food till next Tuesday and I'll take care of you? See, that's the mentality. You are greater than a dog. You are greater than a worm. You are greater than a bird, but yet you find yourself in the welfare line. You find yourself applying for food stamps. It is because you are not using the greatest gift and resource that God has given you that's sitting right in between your two ears. It's called the human brain and it's called the human mind. Our problem is not a lack of resources. Our problem is a lack of resourcefulness.
Brother,
think about it.
Expert.
The sun shines on the righteous and the wicked.
Yes,
Water
sir.
makes itself available to whoever can get it and drink it. So if you find yourself again having a money problem, I challenge you to look in the mirror to tell yourself you don't have a money problem at all. You have a mindset problem. Because the mindset is what makes the money. Once you begin to understand that you are the secret sauce. Think about an artist that signs a record deal. You know, I happen to be an artist myself.
Oh, we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk. Yes, sir.
But the artist, he creates the music. He writes the lyrics. That came from out of his mind. Then that turns into a tangible product. He then takes that song and petitions record labels, right?
Yes,
and a record label is just like a bank. The record label says, I'm going to finance this idea that you just came up with in between your two ears. We're going to put some money behind the idea. We're going to market that idea. We're going to promote that idea on one condition. You got to sign over the idea to us that says we own it. You created it, but you're going to give it to us. We're going to market it. We're going to promote it. And we're going to pay you pennies on the dollar for your idea. And that record label, a.k.a. that financial institution, a.k.a. that bank, they're going to forever own your intellectual property. And they're going to give you crumbs. They're going to give you an upfront check that you don't know how to manage. They're going to give you an upfront check that you don't know what to do with, and then they're going to get all theirs on the back end. See, we got to stop going for the upfront money grab. We got to look at the long-term play. But where did they make their millions and billions off of music catalogs that you gave to them?
Teach on it, sir. Yes, sir.
They made their money off of your idea.
Yes, sir.
But suppose you put your own money into your idea. Suppose you marketed your own idea. Suppose you promoted your own idea and believed in yourself enough that you would put the time in, that you would put the resources in, that you would get on social media, that you would get on news outlets. Wherever there were people, you would be found promoting and marketing your idea. But you can't do that because deep down inside, you don't believe.
And you know what, Brother Khan, when you mention things like that, brother, I always share this with the community about what's happened to us mentally. And it started as a youth, those 14,000 hours of creating something to come out and work for, as you already mentioned, the fall of America. So our thought process has been taken away, but you're sharing with us what we have deep inside. So we got to download other information, like you mentioned. And I wanted to ask you, with all you stated, brother, what about the person who may hear this and state, well, I'm making $1 million a year as an employee. I'm making $500,000 a year. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing $250,000 a year as an employee, and we're not knocking employees. But what's your thought process on that, Brother Khan? As we know the position of America right now.
If you're making $250,000, if you notice and you pay attention to the financial thunderstorms happening, $250,000 ain't really no money. The middle class is being eaten up to where now you're going to either be rich or you're going to be poor. Yeah, you're making $250,000, but how much of it do you actually have? You got $250,000, but how much is your house? You got $250,000, but how much is your car note? You got $250,000, but what is your standard of living? From what I understand, people that make $250,000, they're struggling just like the people that's making $50,000. You make more money, but your expenses are great. You make more money, but your debt to income ratio is great.
Yes, sir. Facts.
Oh yeah, you in debt with that student loan to get that job that you got to pay and get paid $250,000. You owe that student loan that they not gonna forgive, right?
Right.
You live in that gated community in a house that you don't own, or you're on a mortgage, a 30-year mortgage, a 15-year mortgage. Some of y'all sitting on adjustable rates right now. That $250,000 house actually is, you're going to end up paying $500,000 for that $250,000 house. You got $250,000, but your house is $250,000.
Yes, sir. Facts.
So you just a rich 2023 slave. But are you happy though? How much of your time are you giving up? How many days and nights are you on call to get that $250,000? Are you living your best life? Are you fulfilling your purpose? Or are you enriching somebody else? And if they paying you $250,000, how much are they making?
And that's facts, Brother Khan. And you know, it's funny when you say, not funny, and we're never putting anyone down. We're speaking reality. Those who are wanting to impress the Joneses. And when I heard one of my mentors from afar, Jim Ricketts, state that those making $1 million salary barely have $400 to $500 for an emergency. And I just couldn't contemplate something like that for individuals who are high-paid individuals in the space of being an employee in corporate America. So much value given there, brother, and you did bring up something briefly, and I want to go into it as an 8X author. Because, I mean, brother, you've written several books, ebooks, physical books. You've delved into the various topics. Could you highlight some key principles from your books that can help our listeners achieve personal and financial growth?
Well, the first step is always, no matter what field, it always starts with mindset.
Yes, sir.
And by mindset, I mean, what is your mind set upon? Napoleon Hill, the great giant in self-development, he teaches in his book, Think and Grow Rich, that 9 out of every 10 people on the planet don't have a definite major purpose. They don't have a definite major aim. So most people, when you ask them, well, what do you want? They give you a list of what they don't want. So I would say it all starts with, what do you want? And then you put together your DBH list. What is your DBH list? What do you want to do? Who do you want to be? What do you want to have? Well, man, I'll be all right long as, I just want to live comfortable. Well, what is that? I just want to make some more money, man, enough to take care of my bills and to feed my family. The problem, Les Brown said, is not that you aim too high and miss. The problem is that you aim too low and hit. Because if you give yourself 30 days to finish your goal, you'll typically get it done in those 30 days. But if you give yourself 3 days for the same goal, you'll typically get it done in the 3 days. So if you want to make enough to pay your bills, that's if you look at your life, your outer world reflects your inner.
Yes, sir.
You're not making you're about 10% above or 10% below where you have set your financial and mental thermostat. You say you want to make $4,000 a month, you might be right at about 3,700, or you might be at about 4,300, because God will not give you any more than you can handle. Well, that applies to money as well.
Yes,
it's
sir.
not from God outside of you that can't handle it. It's the God sitting inside of you. So you first got to be connected to the source of creation. He's the author of your creative mind. And you have to be able to feed on that mind and extract out of that mind your desires, your goals, your objectives. But many of us, most of the planet, are wandering around without a specific or definite major goal. That is the biggest problem that I have found with the people that I coach, mentor, teach, and try to guide. They don't know what they want. So when you don't know what you want, you settle. You get a job that you don't want to be in. You work in an industry you don't enjoy. You end up being a bus driver for 30 years. Shout out to all the bus drivers. But did you really plan? Did you really plan on driving that city bus for the next 30 years of your life? Did you really plan to do that? Or did you just happen to be looking for some employment, and at the time they were paying $12, $13, $14, $15 an hour? And you say, oh man, that's all right. Then you got comfortable.
That's right.
Then the year turned to 5 years.
That's right.
And, and 40 pounds turned to 50 pounds. So you a bus driver carrying a garbage pail around your waist because you're sitting in a seat for 8 to 10 hours a day, driving around, looking at everybody else's life, but you're not fulfilling your purpose on the planet. So you are unfulfilled, unhappy, dissatisfied bus driver, looking to retire after 30 years, and then what? Now you got to rediscover all over again, what are you good at? What do you desire to do besides drive a bus, since you no longer driving the bus?
Man, with that being said, Brother Khan, most people fail to plan and plan to fail. With all due respect, I want to take a 30-second infomercial break, brother. We're going to be returning with our dear brother, Young Khan the Don, okay, the do-for-self expert. We'll be right back. To a Rich Education Podcast, episode 6, with our great brother, my mentor, also my coach. You didn't know that, did you? Young Khan the Don. And I told you it was going to be fire. We got so much fire. Look, don't get the fire extinguisher, because this is the fire we need. It's probably going to move us, move those feet, move our tail to make something happen for ourselves. Look, brother, I was thinking about this during the break. Being a prolific rapper. See, I mean, when we say do-for-self expert, I wasn't just making that comment or making that statement. This is real. This brother's an expert at do-for-self. So being a rap artist with 400 plus songs is impressive, brother. Impressive. How was your music career intersected with your entrepreneurial endeavors? And what lessons can be drawn from your experiences in the music industry?
Well, the way I got started as into doing rap and music was actually as a joke. It was around my sophomore year of high school, and I was kind of known a little bit as what some would call a class clown. But I was so good at it, I could make people laugh, but I would never get caught. So I could impersonate the teachers. I could do impersonations. So there happened to be a guy in my class named Darren Hubbard. Shout out to Darren Hubbard. He was a rapper. And I wanted to make fun of him as a rapper. So I said, man, I'm going to come back and battle you tomorrow.
Yes,
He
sir.
laughed, of course. I went home and wrote a rap, thinking the next day that the rap was going to be funny, but nobody laughed, including Darren, the rapper.
Yeah.
And he looked at me and he said, how long you been rapping? I said, well, actually, this is the first time I did it. I just wrote it last night. That's why I had to read it off the paper. He said,
Yes,
well,
sir.
you're pretty good at that. You should keep doing it. And that began my rap career.
Brother, you know what? People may not know. I mean, they should hear the voice, this voice of a champion. Let's give our listeners some samples of what's going on with my more than talented brother. Let's pause for a second and let's hear some of this great music.
Digital real estate. Digital real estate. I gotta give me some digital real estate. Imagine having a house to rent out.
Or maybe
You
a
see,
store.
success doesn't just come from the individual itself. It also comes from the mate that he comes together with. So you just hearing his queen in the background. So check this one out, family.
I got a crispy $100 bill in my pocket. Watch how fast I flip it and make it take off like a rocket. On a mission 2020 vision, don't try to stop us. Cause it can go down quicker than Kobe's helicopter. Go call a doctor for people sicker than Gail King. Tell her watch them out fulfill the fury that hell brings. Shells ring up the glizzy when the killers get busy. As an OG, I wonder what happened to my city. If you make it to 50, they call you old school. I've been a student of the game, I ain't no fool. I'm so cool, considering what I go through. I walk it like I talk it. You don't wanna put on no shoes. I'm ready for whatever. Gotta make it happen now and never.
You hear the queen in the background, but this song right here, when I played this next one, family, I had people inboxing me, bro. Who is that? Can I get that song? But you gotta get permission to get this song. I'm gonna give you the brother's information. You reach out and ask. I'm not pass nothing on. But check this one out, family.
Come on with it.
Crypto. Even though I stay on the grind, I get dough. Yeah, man, I get dough. I don't want fiat money no more. Pay me in crypto. Pay me all in crypto. Even though I stay on the grind and I get dough. Yeah, man, I get dough. I don't want fiat money no more. Pay me in crypto. Pay me all in crypto. Now, the banks can't control it. The government can't either.
Brother, our
They
brothers
ain't ready. They ain't ready.
No, they're not ready for it, bro. You're so talented, bro. We're so grateful to have you here. You talked about, the comedian but look, let me ask you this, because when I opened up this podcast today, brother, we opened up with digital real estate. Your role as a digital real estate professional. See, because people hear that and they may be thinking differently when it comes to digital real estate and also content creator. I mean, my posts have gone viral because of you. When we first connected, brother, being on the phone, for hours I've been blessed to be on the phone with you, brother. So just break that down, man, the financial gain when people can get having your mentorship, your coaching in the digital real estate space.
Well, first of all, what is digital real estate?
Right.
Digital real estate, as I'm taught by my teacher, the digital god, Brother Ben X.
Facts. Mentor.
Digital real estate is a concept of showing and teaching people how to monetize themselves and produce digital assets online. For example, you may know how to cook the best chicken wings in the world, right? But you're selling them one person at a time. But if you were to use your digital real estate, your social media, your Facebook, your YouTube, your TikTok, your Twitter account, or your X account, right? Your Instagram, and you were to highlight your cooking skills, you were to get testimonials and be able to show and give value on those platforms, you could reach hundreds and thousands and potentially tens of thousands and even millions of people with your message, and you would be able to monetize that skill set of making chicken wings. Not just making chicken wings, you could create a class on how to cook the chicken wings.
That's right.
You could create a recipe book on how to bake different chicken wing recipes, right? So there are different avenues by which you can monetize that one skill set. You could become a keynote speaker at food conferences, the science of cooking chicken wings, all because you are utilizing your digital platforms. And you don't need a physical product to be able to make money from an intangible asset, because an ebook is not a physical product.
Right.
It's a digital product. Music is not a physical product. It's a digital product. You can't reach out in the air and grab music, but you can hear it. You can feel it. You can experience it. So that is a good example. If you have Cash App or PayPal, these are digital platforms, right? If I send you $100 on Cash App, did you physically get money? No, you just received numbers in an account. Well, that's digital, right?
Yes, sir.
So that's digitized. And most of us, if you are on these platforms, just know you are the product.
That's right, brother. Good teaching on that.
They're making money off of you watching somebody else. Why not get on those landscapes and let people watch you? Why not show them your gift, your talent, your skill set, so that they can tap in with you? They can patronize you. They can purchase your products and services. We learn how to do that inside the Digital Income Builders Tribe with Brother Ben X himself, the digital guy who helped one company to make and scale their business to over $12 million in 1 year. He's helped me to make in 36 months over $140,000. Y'all didn't hear what I said.
That's
over $140,000 from my cell phone.
That's right. That's right, brother. And I mean, when I first heard digital real estate, Coach Khan, I said, man, what is this? What? Been following Brother Ben for years, and and that's my next question to speak on the Nation of Islam. And I was like, man, is he selling like electronic real estate? I didn't know. So I'm so glad that this is how I thought about it until I was blessed to come into the tribe. And I'm so glad that anyone seeing this, you see my brother's phone number there. So if you have a product, you have dreams, you have something or my brother's going to help you bring it out of you. That's the community that you need to be plugged into, because he's giving you the definition to bring those dreams out and learn how to monetize them. Great people. This is the platform that's helping thousands right now take things to the next level. You've heard the monetize opportunity that's been in my brother's life from having Brother Ben, who's just an amazing brother, really the best young man that's out there in that space teaching people to build their digital real estate. Brother, the Nation of Islam is a significant part of your identity, and you don't hide that, brother. You go to my brother's Instagram channel, you're going to get all the knowledge that you need, and even the books. How has your faith influenced your values and actions as an entrepreneur and mindset coach?
It has been quintessential to my entire, not just my entrepreneurial journey, but to my life in general. It was in the Nation of Islam that I learned the concept, do for self, as written by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad in the great illuminating book called Message to the Black Man.
Yes, sir.
Where there are chapters entitled Do for Self or Suffer the Consequences. Well, I was blessed early on to be mentored by a minister, a former New York Giant professional football player by the name of Aziz Muhammad. He used to be called James Medlock back in the day. And he was the one that trained me and actually showed me how to do for self, how to buy products, how to start a business, how to provide services. He was the one that drilled and instilled in me the art and science of how to do for self, an invaluable skill as being members of the Nation of Islam. And with that skill set, I've never had to work a job because Almighty God has been able to bless me to create jobs, to create products. You know, God is a creator. He don't sit around in an unemployment line. He thinks of an idea, then he says be, and it is. He goes to work to manifest the ideas in his head. So you couple that training of how to do for self to then running into Brother Ben X, another member of the Nation of Islam, who was also taught how to do for self, who took his creative mind and through the power of social media, he was able to digitize. Y'all didn't hear what I said. He was able to digitize his skill set, his knowledge, his wisdom, his understanding, and produce income. So I say you have two choices. You either gonna be a boss or you gonna work for one.
Wow, facts, brother.
You either gonna be a boss or you gonna work for one. And the person that you're working for is a person that used their creative mind.
Facts. Yes, sir.
So you got the power. If that sounds like something you want to do, all you got to do for the remainder of the interview, I'm going to be telling y'all, text whatever you want. If you want coaching, just text coaching to my number, 219-299-49. If you want to learn more about digital real estate and how to monetize yourself, just text the word income to 219-299-49. If you want to get some of that bomb fire music collection that I got, all you got to do is text music, whatever you want, just text it to my number. And by the way, that's my real number. Oh, that ain't no office automated number. That's my actual number. When you text me, I'm gonna call you back. Look, if you want to get one of these books right here, it's gonna break down the secret of how to do for self and how I learned and made at that time that I wrote the book. Over $70,000 with digital real estate. You can get it. I got it right. Hey, Brother Demi, I came locked and loaded. If you want to get the book,
right, bro.
It's going to talk about round 2 of this whole COVID era that we about to get into. What to do, what not to do, how to avoid it. Should you take a shot or should you not take a shot? Who shot you? Why did they shoot you? You can find all of that in these books. Hey, man, I ain't going to even show y'all all of it. I just got too many. Look. If you want to get Brother Ben's book, Do for Self, Separation of Death, Do for Self, and some consequences. We got it for you, family. Khan After Dark, the ultimate Q&A book. Why is the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan so important? We got that and so many more, man. All you got to do is tap in with me. I don't call myself the Do for Self expert for no reason, which reminds me, Brother Demi, you just grabbed 2 albums. I did something I don't think anybody in the history of music that I know of. You can correct me if you know of anybody, but I can't name one artist that simultaneously dropped 10 albums with 10 songs on each album at the same time.
I know of none, sir. So we got to congratulate that, brother. Congratulations on that. That is fire, black man. That is fire, bro.
10 songs on each album at the same time. R. Kelly ain't did it. Tupac didn't do it. Biggie didn't do it.
Yes,
Prince
sir.
didn't even do it. But your man, Young Khan the Don.
And I'm gonna be honest with you, Coach Khan. I was thinking Prince, but Prince didn't do it. I surely was thinking Prince. And with that being said, family, let us take a 30-second infomercial break. And I told you people that we had the blessing today that we're gonna be returning episode 6, Young Khan the Don, the Do for Self expert. We'll be right back. Welcome to A Rich Education Podcast. I'm your host, Demi Sanya, and our mission is clear. At A Rich Education, we're here to empower you through financial knowledge, At A Rich Education, we want you to understand the importance of safeguarding your wealth with physical gold and physical silver in small increments, timeless shields against economic uncertainty, such as the devaluation of currencies and also inflation that's happening all over the world. Diversify your portfolio for financial strength in any market. Self-sufficiency is key. Take control of your financial future. Opportunity lies in having financial strategy. Visit our website at www.aricheducation.com, and there you can explore many resources such as 401 Chaos, written by Andy Tanner. And also, you can get that book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, from Robert Kiyosaki, best-selling author, and download it for free. Tune into A Rich Education, where you'll get expert insights, and also subscribe for our ongoing education. Join our mission for a brighter financial future, and understand this: your key to success lies in financial education, because it is the power to moving ahead, but you have to take action. Like I said, family, so much value. And I know you're enjoying our dear brother, Young Khan the Don, with so many. You remember the show. What was the show? Hey Man. But this is real right here. It's not just no Hey Man. And with all of the different jobs that Hey Man had, what was the name of the show? The comedy show back then, In Living Colors.
In Living Colors.
Young Khan the Don is actually helping people do this, and it's all documented. And brother, the time has been moving so fast. I mean, literally, because we've done it. You and I have done it on this one on a personal tip. The blessing that you've given me, the coaching that you've given me, I mean, for hours. So we literally could be on here for hours, and time has moved fast, but we're going to have to do a part 2, brother. And I hope that you can bless the platform with your presence again, brother. But we gotta really narrow this thing down, brother. So I'm hoping to get you back on the show next month. I got one more question for you, brother, when we bring this to a close. What is your vision for the future, brother? Your vision for the future, both for your own career and for the communities you aim to empower through your work?
That's a good question, and I have a formula that I like to implement called the KISS formula. And KISS is an acronym that simply stands for Keep It Super Simple.
Yes, sir.
So as long as I keep it super simple and it's right within my grasp, then I'm fired up and I'm not overburdened and bogged down by my ability to make it happen. I just focus on the goal that's sitting right in front of me. One of my great mentors by the name of brother JT, the Bigger Figure. He's the one that produced Master P's first album from top to bottom. He's the one that originally signed the rap artist known as The Game. The Game was JT, the Bigger Figure's artist. He's the one that gave Damon Dash the blueprint to release Damon Dash Studios. He's the one that has his own 24-hour hood movie streaming site called Trapflix. I know y'all heard about Netflix, but I'm talking about Trapflix. The man has a 24-hour streaming service showing hood movies and highlighting independent artists only. He's the one that told me. He said, Brother Khan, he said, I know you want the nice cars and the big houses. He said, but I want you to pick a goal in your mind that's right within arm's reach, that if you just stick your arm out just a little further, you will have it. He say, focus on that and then grab that. And when you grab that, put another thing in your mind that's right outside of your fingertips, to where if you stretch just a little bit further, you know you can get that. He said, and by the time you get down the road and look back at all the things you've been able to accomplish, you will be amazed at what you've been able to do. So shout out to JT, the Bigger Figure. He's in Africa right now. He has his own schools in Africa. The man has provided water wells to villages in Africa. He's invited me to come over there to Africa. He has real estate in Africa. So he's somebody that I would listen to. I like to call him the hood Steve Jobs.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, he's the black Mark Zuckerberg of the ghetto. Yeah, that's him, man. JT, the Bigger Figure. So
yes,
he gave me that game, and I never forgot it. So my vision for the future is simple. I want to be able to empower 1,000 people to unleash the God within themselves. See, real simple.
Yes, sir.
If I can get you to believe in the God in yourself and manifest. I'm not talking about Jesus. I'm not talking about Allah. I'm not talking about Muhammad or Farrakhan or Elijah or Zoroaster. I'm not talking about Buddha. So if I could just get you to believe in that God, the one inside yourself, you would live a happier life. You would live a more fulfilled life. You would be able to produce more income, and you would be an enriched human being. If I could get you to unleash the power of the God within, that is my vision for the future, for my family, myself, and my people. So, man, I'd like to thank you for having me on your show, brother, and I'm looking forward to a part 2 because it felt like we gotta have the surface.
We gotta have a part 2, brother. I already knew that it was gonna be like this, brother. And I can't thank you enough for your time, family. I know everyone got so much value, and as you see, please connect with my brother. His information will be in the description as well, on YouTube, on Facebook, so you won't miss his information. But it's right here. Please text, okay? 219-200-9949. Anything you want, just text it to that number, and you're gonna get in touch with my dear brother. Coach Khan, the Don, I want to thank you today for sharing your presence with us today on the Rich Education Podcast. We want you all to have a blessed day, dear brother, and I'll be talking to you soon.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
Great people, it's been an amazing show this afternoon, this evening, this morning. I want to thank you for your time. And please reach out to my dear brother, because I know you have a dream, you have a goal, you have a vision, you have something that you want to accomplish, but you just need the right individual to help you, the right community to help you bring that out. And Young Khan the Don is that person. I'm telling you, brought so much value in my life where I'm able to monetize the things that I'm doing today. So once again, I want to thank everyone for tuning in with us at the Rich Education Podcast, episode 6, Young Khan the Don, the do-for-self expert. And remember this quote. I always have to end this with: you are the one sum of all the information that you've accepted and the information that you've rejected. Take care, take heed, and stay safe.
Young God, money. Good homes. Friendship. Young God of God.
Money, good homes. Friendships in all walks of life. Money, good homes. Friendships in all walks of life. Money, good homes. Friendships in all walks of life. He told me I would get it if I submitted, worked hard, and sacrificed. Money, good homes. Friendships in all walks of life. Money, good homes. Friendships in all walks of life. Money, good homes. Friendships in all walks of life. He told me I would get it if I submitted, worked hard, and sacrificed. I remember the day that I joined, barely scraping up coins. I'm not bragging or boasting, I'm just making a point. Poor is how I started, now look at how it's going. It's deeper than what you say you believe to me, it's about the knowing. Truth from all the prophets, look at what Master Farah did. Name somebody else that blessed us with knowledge of self like God did. Enemies held us hostage, but it's too late to stop this. Inside of a mental mosh pit, watch how busy I get with this money. Good homes, friendships in all walks of life. Money, good homes, friendships in all walks of life. Money, good homes, friendships in all walks of life. He told me I would get it if I submitted, worked hard, and sacrificed. Money, good homes, friendships in all walks of life. Money, good homes, friendships in all walks of life. Money, good homes, friendships in all walks of life. He told me I would get it if I submitted, worked hard, and sacrificed. I study my lessons so I get blessings all on top of blessings. I'm in the booth teaching the truth so you can stop the guessing. I rep the star and crescent. Islam is my profession. I suggest you get with Farrakhan and drop your weapons. Submit your will to do God's will and watch your life change. Man, I put these teachings on everything in my name. Equality, justice, and freedom, you see what I claim. Try to recalibrate your mind frame and do the right thing. Get money, good homes, friendships in all walks of life. Money, good homes, friendships in all walks of life. Money, good homes, friendships in all walks of life. He told me I would get it if I submitted, work hard, and sacrifice. Money, good homes.